Ladies and gentlemen, let me start by telling you something that most people won't say out loud. The loudest person in the room is rarely the most powerful. Real power doesn't shout. It doesn't seek attention. It doesn't need to announce itself. Real power moves in silence. It builds in the shadows. It works while the world sleeps and shows up when no one expects it. In this world of constant noise, social media updates, flashy announcements, attention-seeking behavior, it's easy to believe that being seen equals being successful. But the truth is far from that. The truth is that those who achieve the most often say the least. The ones who shock the world with their success didn't spend time explaining their every move. They spent time making those moves count. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason most people never reach their full potential isn't because they lack talent. It's because they talk too much and act too little. They spend more time explaining what they're going to do than actually doing it. And somewhere in between seeking validation and responding to opinions, their vision gets diluted. Their fire dies out. But you're different. You're here because you want more. You're here because something inside you is tired of staying in the same place. You know deep down that your future doesn't belong to the talkers, it belongs to the doers. And if you want to step into your next level, you have to stop broadcasting your every move and start building in silence. This isn't about hiding your greatness. No, this is about protecting it. Protecting your ideas from premature exposure. Protecting your vision from people who can't see it. Protecting your energy from those who want to drain it. Because not everyone is happy to see you rise. Not everyone wants to see you win. Some only clap when you're not clapping for yourself. Some only stay when you stay stuck. And the moment you try to break free, they disappear, or worse, they try to pull you back down. So you have a choice. You can keep telling people what you plan to do and get lost in their doubts, or you can move in silence and let your results shut them down. This message, this movement, it's for the ones who are ready to stop explaining and start executing. It's for the quiet warriors, the builders, the believers who know their time is coming and don't need the world to believe it first. Silence is not weakness, it is wisdom, it is patience, it is strategy, and in that silence there is preparation. There is momentum, there is power. So, if you're ready to rise, ready to build, ready to become everything you were meant to be, then it's time to stop talking and start moving. Because from this moment forward, silence is your strength, execution is your proof, and success will be your loudest point. Let's begin. Silence is strategy. There's a reason why the most powerful moves in life are often made in silence. Why? Because silence is strategy. It's not just about keeping secrets, it's about preserving energy, focus, and momentum. When you're working towards something big, something meaningful, something life-changing, the worst thing you can do is broadcast it to everyone you know. Because the moment you start talking, you open the door for noise. And noise is the enemy of focus. Your vision is sacred. It was given to you, not them. You see what others can't see, feel what others can't feel, and dream what others are too afraid to even imagine. And yet, the moment you expose that dream to the wrong ears, you risk contamination, you risk doubt, you risk their fear infecting your faith. Understand this. Not everyone will understand your passion. Not everyone is meant to. Some people will look at your goals and think they're too big, too unrealistic, too risky. But that's not because your goals are impossible. It's because their mindset is too small. Their limitations are not your reality. Their fears are not your forecast. When you keep your plans to yourself, you stay in control. You own the narrative. You stay committed to your mission without the pressure of proving anything to anyone. You don't have to explain, defend, or justify your process. You just build. You just execute. You just move. Think of your goals like a fire. When it's just a spark, it's vulnerable. Wind can blow it out. Rain can drown it. And careless hands can destroy it before it even has a chance to burn. But if you protect that flame, feed it quietly, fuel it steadily, it will grow into something no one can ignore. A blazing fire of purpose. A force that commands attention. Not because you shouted about it, but because you worked for it. Silence doesn't mean weakness. In fact, it's one of the greatest strengths you can develop. It means you're mature enough to move without constant validation. It means you're focused enough to pursue without applause. And it means you're wise enough to know that energy spent on talking is energy stolen from doing. The truth is, most people talk more than they act. They announce every intention, every step, every dream, and then wonder why they never reach it. Don't be that person. Be the one who surprises the world with results, not promises. Be the one who lets success speak so loud, it drowns out every voice that ever doubted. Silence is not emptiness, it's preparation. It's the grind behind closed doors, it's the quiet hours no one sees, and it's the blueprint of greatness. So protect your vision, build in silence, move in strategy, because the most powerful plans are the ones no one sees coming, until it's too late to stop them. Not everyone wants to see you win. Let's be honest, not everyone in your life wants to see you win. That's a harsh truth, but one you need to accept if you're serious about achieving your goals. Some people smile to your face, clap when you win a small battle, and act like they're cheering for you, but deep down, your success makes them uncomfortable. Not because you've done anything wrong, but because your growth shines a light on their stagnation. You see, people love it when you're just like them, when you complain like them, struggle like them, and settle like them. The moment you decide to rise, evolve, and chase something greater, the energy changes, the air shifts. Some people get quiet, some get distant, others start throwing subtle shade, passive-aggressive comments, or fake compliments. You feel it in your gut. That's not support, it's disguised resentment. But that's exactly why you can't tell everyone your plans. When you start sharing your vision with people who aren't growing, they'll try to shrink your dreams down to their size. They'll call it being realistic, but really, they're projecting their fear onto your future. They couldn't do it, so they assume you can't either. And if you're not careful, those seeds of doubt will take root in your mind. That's how dreams die. Not from lack of potential, but from exposure to the wrong people too soon. You have to understand, some people are only comfortable when you're struggling, because as long as you're on the same level, they feel safe. But when you start breaking free from old habits, building something better, becoming someone stronger, they feel threatened. That's not your fault, but it's your responsibility to protect your peace. You don't need the approval of people who aren't going where you're going. You don't need permission to grow. What you need is clarity. Clarity that tells you not everyone can come on this journey. And the more you grow, the smaller your circle might become. That's okay. Growth requires pruning. Let go of the ones who can't clap when you win. Somebody, because real supporters don't get jealous. They get motivated. Real friends don't ask you to play small. They push you to go bigger. They don't try to dim your light. They help you shine even brighter. So if someone can't handle your dreams, don't share them. If they can't celebrate your success, don't explain it. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You don't need the validation from people who aren't building what you're building. Remember, you're not doing this for applause. You're doing this for purpose. Keep your plans private. Let your work speak volumes, and let your success expose the truth about who really wanted you to win and who was just pretending. Because in the end, the ones who truly support you won't need to be told what you're planning. They'll already believe in who you are becoming. Execution over explanation. Talk is cheap, execution is everything. We live in a world where everyone's eager to explain what they are going to do, why they haven't done it yet, and how big their plans are. Social media is full of people announcing the next big thing. But here's the truth, nobody cares about your plan until you make it real. The world doesn't reward intentions, it rewards results. You don't owe anyone an explanation, you owe yourself execution. That's what separates the dreamers from the doers. The ones who talk about change and the ones who create it. The moment you start focusing more on doing the work and less on talking about the work, your life will begin to shift. Explanations drain energy. Every time you explain your next move, your vision or your strategy, you're giving away a piece of your focus. You're opening the door to opinions, criticisms and distractions. And most of the time, people aren't qualified to give you feedback on something they've never built themselves. Let your actions speak, let your discipline speak, let your consistency speak, because when you execute relentlessly, you don't have to explain yourself. Your results will do the talking for you. Think about some of the most successful people in history. They weren't out there justifying every decision, defending every goal, or asking for constant validation. They were building, creating, executing. And by the time the world saw what they had accomplished, it was undeniable. The work spoke louder than any announcement ever could. You don't need to prove yourself with promises. Prove yourself with performance. When you focus on execution, you stop caring about who's watching. You stop worrying about who's clapping. You start living for the mission, not the attention. And that's where real progress happens. In silence, in discipline, in daily actions that no one sees but you. Explanations are often just a distraction in disguise. They can become a way of seeking approval or reassurance before you even begin. But the truth is, you don't need to be understood. You need to be effective. You don't need to be praised. You need to be consistent. Let people think you're quiet. Let them think you're not doing much. That's fine. Let them doubt you. Let them forget you. Because when you rise, and you will rise, your success will demand their attention without you saying a single word. So from this day forward, choose execution over explanation. Don't talk about the business. Build it. Don't explain the plan. Live it. Don't share the vision. Manifest it. Because in the end, what truly matters isn't how well you described your dreams. It's how powerfully you made them real. Move in silence. There is a rare kind of power in moving in silence. Not because you're hiding, not because you're afraid, but because you are focused, you are intentional, you are building something sacred. And sacred things deserve protection. When you move in silence, you free yourself from the noise. You detach from the need for approval, applause, or attention. You're not working for the crowd. You're working for the vision. You don't need to announce every step, every idea, or every goal. You just take them quietly, consistently, and powerfully. Let them wonder what you're doing. Let them assume you're not making moves. Let them count you out. Because the best comebacks, the strongest breakthroughs, and the greatest transformations happen when no one is watching. Why is silence so powerful? Because it eliminates interference. The more people know your plans, the more opinions, judgments, and doubts you invite into your space. And not everyone is rooting for you. Some people are waiting for you to fail. Others are secretly competing with you. And many simply won't understand your path because they've never dared to walk their own. Silence protects your energy. When you keep your moves quiet, you stay grounded. You stop wasting time defending your dreams and start using that time to build them. You avoid unnecessary conversations and you preserve your mental space for what really matters: progress. Too often, we feel the need to tell the world what we're about to do. We want people to know we're working, striving, planning, but here's the truth. The more you speak it, the more you risk speaking it away. Ideas are fragile in their early stages. They need nurturing, not exposure. They need focus, not feedback. And here's the beauty of moving in silence. You begin to surprise people. You show up with results, not reasons. You arrive with impact, not intentions. You become known not for your talk, but for your transformation. You start to build a reputation, not for what you promised, but for what you produced. Moving in silence doesn't mean isolating yourself. It means being intentional with your circle. It means sharing your vision only with those who are aligned, trustworthy, and supportive. Not everyone needs access to your process. Not everyone deserves a front row seat to your growth. Silence gives you leverage. The less people know, the less they can interfere, the less they can sabotage, the less they can distract. And when you finally reveal what you've been working on, the world will have no choice but to respect it. Because you didn't talk about it, you delivered it. So don't chase validation, chase results. Don't seek attention, seek mastery. And don't speak too soon, let your work speak when the time is right. Because in a world full of noise, the quiet ones are often the ones doing the most damage. In the best way possible, let your success speak. At the end of the day, the loudest voice in the room isn't always the one that's speaking, it's the one that's succeeding. You don't need to shout your goals from the rooftops. You don't need to prove your worth through words. Let your results be the proof. Let your grind be the evidence. Let your success speak on your behalf. And trust me, it will speak louder than anything you could ever say. People remember what you do, not what you promise. They respect results. They respond to transformation. When you stay committed, consistent, and quiet, the moment your success appears, it demands respect. It silences the doubters. It humbles the critics. It shocks the ones who thought you wouldn't make it. You don't have to tell them what you're building, just build it. You don't need to announce the next move, just make it. You don't have to respond to every opinion, every doubt, every distraction. Let your life respond. Let your discipline respond. Let your success walk into the room before you even open your mouth. Because the truth is, people will always talk. Some will doubt you no matter what. Others will pretend to support you while secretly hoping you fall. But success is undeniable. They can ignore your voice, but they can't ignore your results. Let your success make the announcement. Let it be the headline. Let it be the moment when everyone stops and says, wow, I didn't see that coming. And the beauty is, you knew it was coming the whole time. You saw it before they did. You believe in it before it had a name. You worked for it in silence while everyone else was watching the wrong things. The most powerful statements in life are not spoken. They're lived. The most impressive speeches aren't made on stages. They're made in how you show up every day when no one's watching. How you grind in the dark. How you rise after every setback. How you refuse to give up even when no one claps for you. That's what makes success meaningful. Not just the outcome, but the process. And when that moment comes, when your vision becomes reality, let it speak for itself. No explanations, no apologies, no arrogance, just quiet, steady confidence that says, I did what I said I would do. Humans. And you didn't need to broadcast it. You didn't need to defend it. You let the work prove your worth. So keep going, keep building, keep believing. Don't worry if they're watching or not. Don't worry if they doubt you. Let your success interrupt their expectations. Let your progress rewrite their narratives. You don't need to be loud. You just need to be consistent. You don't need to tell the world what's coming. Just let them see it when it arrives. Because in the end, real power doesn't make noise. It makes moves. Let your success speak and let it say everything they didn't expect. Ladies and gentlemen, as we bring this message to a close, let me remind you of something powerful. You don't need noise to make an impact. You need movement. Real success, the kind that lasts, the kind that turns heads and inspires others, is born in the quiet. It's crafted in the early mornings when the world is still asleep. It's molded in the late nights when others have given up. It's not posted, it's practiced. It's not promised, it's proven. This world will tempt you to overshare, to announce every step, to chase applause before results. But the truth is, your breakthrough doesn't need a broadcast. It needs your discipline, your grit, your unwavering focus. So many people fall short because they seek recognition before they've earned it. They tell the world what they're going to do, hoping for approval, hoping for support. But too often they get judgment, doubt, and distractions instead. And that's how dreams die, not from lack of ability, but from too much exposure and too little action. You've heard it throughout this journey. Move in silence. Not because you're afraid, but because you're focused. Not because you're hiding, but because you're building, you're protecting something sacred, your purpose, your mission, your future. And not everyone is meant to have a front row seat in your process. Yes, some will doubt you. Some will mock your silence and mistake it for weakness. Let them, because the loudest voice in the room is rarely the strongest. The strongest are too busy working, too busy executing, too busy creating a legacy to entertain every opinion. Success is not found in status updates or motivational quotes. It's found in sacrifice, in showing up daily, even when no one's watching, in doing what's hard, what's uncomfortable, what's necessary, again and again. And when your time comes, and it will come, the world won't ask you what you said. They'll look at what you've built. They'll measure your journey by your consistency, not your declarations. They'll be inspired not by your promises, but by your perseverance. So make the choice today to be different. Be the one who doesn't need to talk about success because you live it. Be the one who doesn't wait for permission because you already gave yourself the green light. Be the one who understands that execution will always speak louder than explanation. Let them doubt. Let them sleep on you. Let them forget you. Just don't forget who you are. Don't forget why you started. And most of all, don't stop moving. Because your silence is not empty, it's full of power. Or your work is not unnoticed, it's gaining momentum. And your breakthrough is not someday, it's soon. So go out there, move in silence, execute with excellence, and let your success speak volumes. This is your time, now make it undeniable. Let your silence build an empire. Let your success be the sound.